child mocked for selling flowers, years later becomes the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Let me tell you a story about resilience, dreams, and the power of not giving up. It's about a young boy named Ethan, who grew up in a small town where dreams often felt out of reach. But Ethan had a fire inside him, a spark that no amount of ridicule could ever extinguish. Ethan was just 10 years old when life threw its first challenge at him. His father, a factory worker, lost his job when the plant shut down. The family struggled to make ends meet, and every penny mattered. His mother, a seamstress, worked long hours stitching clothes for neighbors, but it wasn't enough to pay the bills. Ethan's parents were kind, hard-working people who always told him, "Dream big, son. Life might not always be easy, but you can achieve anything if you don't give up." Ethan took those words to heart. He loved his family deeply and wanted to help. One day, while walking home from school, he noticed wildflowers blooming near the edge of a park. Their vibrant colors caught his eye, and an idea formed in his mind. "What if I sell these flowers?" he thought. Ethan didn't know much about business, but he understood one thing: people loved flowers, especially during holidays or celebrations. He grabbed a few, tied them together with strings his mom had in her sewing box, and went door to door in his neighborhood. "Hey, flower boy," shouted one of his classmates when they spotted him. The laughter that followed stung more than Ethan would ever admit. Kids at school weren't kind. They teased him mercilessly, mocking his small flower business and calling him names. "Who sells flowers? What a loser," they'd jeer. Even some adults weren't supportive. "Shouldn't you be focusing on your studies?" one neighbor said with a dismissive tone. Another added, "Selling flowers won't take you anywhere in life." But Ethan didn't let their words stop him. He wasn't doing it for their approval. He was doing it for his family. Every time he sold a bouquet, he felt proud knowing he could bring a little extra money home to help with groceries or bills. One day, after school, Ethan sat by the park, his bag of flowers beside him. He felt tired, not from walking or working, but from the constant ridicule. Just as tears began to well up, an older man sat beside him. The man was well dressed, with kind eyes and a warm smile. "You seem troubled, young man," the stranger said. Ethan hesitated but eventually shared his story. He talked about his family's struggles, his flower-selling idea, and the endless teasing he endured. The man listened intently and then said something Ethan would never forget. "Son, the world will always have people who laugh at you, especially when you're doing something different. But remember this: greatness is born from perseverance. Keep going." Ethan nodded, feeling a newfound determination. He didn't know who the man was, but those words stuck with him. As years went by, Ethan kept selling flowers, but he also started learning more about plants and business. He saved every dollar he earned, using some of it to buy seeds and grow his own flowers. By the time he was 16, he had turned his small flower-selling gig into a mini business. He started making floral arrangements for weddings and events. People in town began to notice his dedication and skill. The same kids who had mocked him years ago now saw him differently. One day, a teacher approached Ethan and said, "You have a real knack for this. Have you ever thought about studying business?" That idea planted itself in Ethan's mind like a seed waiting to grow. He worked tirelessly, juggling school, his flower business, and part-time jobs. His grades improved, and by the time he graduated high school, he had saved enough money to enroll in a local college. College was a whole new world for Ethan. He studied business administration and soaked up knowledge like a sponge. He learned about marketing, finance, and leadership. While others partied, he spent late nights sketching out ideas for a company he dreamed of building one day. During his senior year, Ethan entered a business competition where students pitched their ideas to potential investors. His idea was simple yet innovative: an online platform for personalized floral arrangements that could be delivered same day. He called it Bloomify. The judges were impressed by his passion and the potential of his idea. One of them, a successful entrepreneur, decided to invest in Ethan's vision. With the funding and support, Ethan launched Bloomify shortly after graduating. At first, it was a small operation run out of his apartment. But Ethan's work ethic and vision turned it into something extraordinary. He used technology to make flower delivery faster, more efficient, and customizable. Bloomify didn't just sell flowers, it told stories. Each bouquet came with a personalized note and the option to include small gifts. Customers loved it, and the company grew rapidly. By the time Ethan was 30, Bloomify had become a Fortune 500 company. His story became an inspiration to many. A boy who once sold flowers on the streets now led a multi-million-dollar business. One day, while visiting his hometown, Ethan decided to walk through the old park where it all began. He sat on the same bench where the kind stranger had once encouraged him. This time, a little girl approached him, holding a small basket of flowers. "Would you like to buy some flowers, sir?" she asked shyly. Ethan smiled, his heart swelling with emotion. He bought the entire basket and said, "Never stop chasing your dreams, no matter what anyone says." Ethan's story wasn't just about success, it was about resilience, kindness, and believing in oneself. He used his wealth to give back to the community, setting up scholarships for underprivileged kids and mentoring young entrepreneurs. And as for those who mocked him all those years ago? Many of them reached out to apologize, admitting they were wrong to judge him. Ethan forgave them without hesitation because he knew their ridicule had shaped him into the person he was. So, the next time someone laughs at your dreams or tells you that you're aiming too high, think of Ethan. Success isn't about where you start, it's about where you're willing to go. Keep pushing forward, and one day, your story might inspire the world. This story reminds us that even the smallest ideas, born out of necessity or hardship, can grow into something extraordinary. Thank you so much for watching. If this story inspired you or made you feel something, please give it a big thumbs up, it really helps the channel grow. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below, we'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss more inspiring and emotional stories like this one. Your support means the world to us, and it keeps us motivated to bring you the best content. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.